just mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got Mitch. We got Jackie Boyd.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there. He's punching me in the stomach. Like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around? Who here thinks Chico can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Chico can practice today. And I was like, I look back and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You're more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
You heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her and I smelled.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like, they should
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Wednesday, June 12th, special edition of Mik'd Up. Not going to have it tonight. We have it a little earlier. We usually record these and play them later.
Fool everybody.
Trick everybody. Now we're not tricking them. We're going live. We have a big show for you today. It is obviously the normal squad of me and Lloyd and Mitch, who is not in studio, but he is on the way to the airport to do his other job. There he is, looking beautiful as always.
Yeah,
we have
very soon.
Very soon. So we only got Jared for about 20 minutes. Then he's got to go. Thankfully, you live downtown. The airport's not far from you. So, Yeah. We got some special guests, though. Part of the G team. Been part of the G team for a couple years now. Friends of the show. Friends of everybody around LSU Baseball. No longer. They're joining the group of us as former LSU baseball players, and that is the two captains. You got Alex Milazzo and Hayden Travinski on the show, being part of the squad today. This is a little bit of an interview, a little bit of a conversation. You're just mostly part of the squad. We're going to talk ball. We're going to talk what's going on around college baseball. Obviously, the World Series, it's ACC versus SEC. Obviously, the two best conferences in the country. Planning to get 4 teams of each conference in the College World Series. Transfer portal is hot and heavy. We want to get your input into that. And we're going to recap the season. We're going to let you reminisce a little bit, talk about what it felt like, things that you're proud about, things that wish it would have been differently, all those types of things. But before we get to them, before we get to Jared, before we really get to the show, let's run through these Heineken headlines for a quick second. I just mentioned the portal is hot and heavy. LSU is right in the middle of that. They bring in transfer Zac Cowan from Wofford. You don't remember him because he did not pitch. He didn't pitch against us, right? He did not pitch against us. He transferred. He was their ace, 10-2 with a 3.35 ERA. 125 strikeouts in 29 innings. No, 120. That'd be amazing. He had 125 strikeouts in 29 innings. 124 strikeouts in 110 innings, only 29 walks. And then, as Jared had mentioned last episode on Monday, that I would not be shocked if you saw some juice being brought in as far as transfers. Luis Hernandez, catcher / first baseman from Indiana State, 360 with 23 pumps and 76 RBIs. Pretty good numbers. Obviously, SEC is a different beast. That's 2 big pickups. I would imagine you're going to see a few more throughout the course of the offseason. Perfect Game also came out and announced their All-American teams. Luke Holman, second team. Tommy White, third team. Stephen Milam and Kade Anderson, both first-team All-Americans. Kade Anderson also made the tournament teams. All-American of the postseason.
The regional.
No, it was All-American of postseason, I believe. He did make the regional team, but whatever the heck. All kinds of new awards coming out, whatever it is. That's always good.
We should do the Mikeys.
The Mikeys.
We have those already.
We do have those.
Yeah, we have those.
We have those.
It's number 8. We have that already.
Name sounded too good to be true then.
Yeah, it did sound too good to be true. Let's get into it, Jay. What do you like? You're going back to Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
To preview the College World Series, right?
Yeah.
But before you do that, and before you got to put your non-biased LSU hat on, we got the boys in studio. Let's talk baseball. Let's talk shop. We talked a lot about what we liked throughout the course of the season. These guys are in here. They have the behind-the-scenes look at that. Let's recap it, obviously. What did we like? What did you like? From the season, how the season ended, and what do you like going into the offseason? Or at least, what do you like what the offseason looks like the last first 4 or 5 days?
I'm gonna start here. Where the season ended is, man, you couldn't be happier with the effort that y'all boys put out there, the way y'all played, the way y'all battled, the way y'all fought back, the way y'all stayed in games, the way y'all got ahead, and when y'all got chances to do it. That's what it's all about. I think right now you see the unfortunate side of how hard it is to win every game, because when you don't, and then it ends up happening at the quote-unquote wrong time, which pretty much for every team except for one every year basically happens at the wrong time, you end up ending a season. But it's man, the way y'all were playing at the end of the year, y'all had a shot to beat anybody in a 3-game series, and that's really all you could be asking yourself at that point of the year. So I love that what y'all were doing then. On what we've seen so far of the season right now, of the off season right now, if you will, is like we talked about, man. There isn't going to be a Hayden Travinski in the lineup anymore. There needs to be some thump. There isn't going to be a Tommy White in the lineup anymore. You needed to see some thump come in. It just is what it is. You can probably go across all 8 teams that are in the College World Series right now. They all have middle-of-the-order guys who have put up some large-ass numbers this year. It's just part of it. That's where the game is. You're going to have those guys that are lineup anchors. Jay is seemingly going out and found one. Exactly how he's going to use these 2 arms that he's brought in, I'm not sure. We're not sure. But they seem to be pretty good pickups in any capacity of that they'll actually get out on the field. So we'll see where this goes from here. But
Let me ask y'all this, right? Obviously, y'all are right in the middle of it. Y'all are in the portal. Y'all have been part of this for a few years now. What is the portal like? What is it like behind the scenes with, hey, the season's ending. You know people are going to be in the portal. Obviously, LSU's lost a few guys already in the portal. I'd imagine there's probably going to be 1 or 2 more, maybe put their name in there later. You're going to bring guys in. How do you navigate that as players and as leaders? Because y'all are the older guys. Y'all are the leaders on the team. How do you navigate that?
Well, I think for us, we didn't really get to experience much of it. We always joked about transferring and going to a mid-major and taking it over. We always chickened out when the decision came. Hence why we were here for so long. I don't know. It's an interesting time in college sports. I think there's benefits to it. There's negatives to it. I think in our role, we were able to kind of plug and play different people. I think we had.
Yeah, I don't think it affected guys like us as much. Like, me and him
guys like Kade Dugas, we were staying at LSU no matter what happens.
Right.
We're going to work it out no matter what happens. But as far as the portal goes, I think the whole idea behind it, yeah, it's a good idea. I don't think guys should have to sit out a year just to go play at another school when they weren't going to be able to play at a school or compete at a school. Yeah, that's great. There's a few guys from our team that's in the portal right now or went to the portal, and honestly, we've talked about that's a good decision for them. There's no hard feelings between us or the coaching staff, and that's the best decision for them. But I think the portal's not going to affect programs in the SEC, really. Like a school like LSU, a school like Tennessee, if anything, they're going to benefit from the portal. But I think where the portal's making such a big impact is the unlimited transfers, and now it's becoming a deal where it's marketing, and it's the NIL plus the portal. There needs to be a cap somewhere. There needs to be control, and I think
these mid-majors get crushed.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we were just talking about it the other day. I don't even know if coaching could have been in the future. Like, why would I want to coach? You have to start at a mid-major. Nobody jumps and starts at the SEC.
Right.
And here I would be coaching. I go get a kid from high school. I pour everything into him. I build a program around kids like him and develop them. And boom, as soon as they have a great year, I'm gone. For me, there needs to be I'd like to see the sense of pride of hey, I'm wearing LSU across my chest, or I have ULL across my chest, Southeastern, any school out there. I think there needs to be a sense of pride of who you're playing for.
I'm glad you said that, right? Because you're a Louisiana guy. You're a Louisiana guy. You weren't going anywhere in the portal because this is where you all want it to be. Beloso, Louisiana guy. Dugas, Louisiana guy, right?
That's what this program's built
Will
off
Helmer's Louisiana guy, right?
Mega
And
nuts.
So,
Mega nuts.
Yeah, mega nuts, right? He goes out there and throws 6 innings, 6 innings, and shuts them. But you don't get that. You get that from the guys that are from Louisiana that want to be here, that are going to grind through it, right? And you can't. You need sprinkle in some other stuff, some talented guys from around the country. They've always done that, but it's important to have the guys from here that have that pride, right? And that's, to me, that you build a team and you build a championship team here that way.
That's what this program was built off of.
Yeah.
You look at every national.
You mentioned it 2 days ago. Who the starting lineup in Omaha last year?
7 of them.
Me and you, Louisiana behind the plate.
Yep.
Trey Morgan, Louisiana. Gavin Dugas, Louisiana. Joby, Louisiana. Pearson, Louisiana. Closer, Louisiana.
Yeah. And then you have, obviously, you sprinkle in with
You
Dylan
went too
Cruz,
fast.
Florida.
But dudes have already been here for 2 years.
Right, and they're
3
basically.
years.
I mean, look, Tommy White's already told me.
Dylan Cruz has a house here.
Tommy White's looking to buy a house here once he leaves.
Yeah.
Like Louisiana.
Jordan Thompson comes back here, comes to football games, and that's the next step of things where I think the portal's taking it away. Is so the guys that did come in, they were all in. This is their home, and they are invested in LSU. They love LSU just like we did it, and to them, it's home. That's why you see so many players staying here. But then that's what makes a program a program is you had guys like us that understand what LSU means, and then those guys come in, and they're just as invested, and then they're here for 3 years, and this is home.
Well, if you don't have guys like y'all, then those guys never understand. Go ahead, James.
I think people don't. Yeah, I think people don't understand that the winning sauce, the secret sauce, however you want to mash it up and put together, it's pretty much the same thing everywhere you go. We can go back to the times when we were playing and we had the Mees and the Mikeys and the Shimps and stuff like that. But we had to put a Blake Dean who still hasn't left Louisiana yet. We had to put a Sean Ochenko in there who still hasn't left Louisiana yet. We put DJ LeMahieu who still comes back all the time. We had guys like that. It's the same thing. And the idea of what the portal is great. It's just, but every rule you put in, there's somebody in some ways that's gonna find ways to exploit them, and that's all that's really happening. The question I have for you guys is what things did y'all do, because y'all had a real unique time too. You got to see the very beginning of the portal when no one really knew what the hell it was and didn't really use it the way it's used right now, to where it's full-fledged right now. What ways did y'all kind of bring guys in quicker or easier? Because I know it's a little different sometimes. You got guys coming in that have, some skin in the game in a different position, and they're used to doing things a different way. And it's not just I'm coming in from high school, so let me jump on board. You got some guys coming in with, a little bit different thoughts. What ways did y'all bring guys in closer together and make this thing run easier, if you will?
I think we had a lot of veterans that helped showed us how it was done in a proper way. So I think it made our job really easy when the time came, just helping people navigate the transition from high school to college, because it's different. You're on your own. Mom's not doing your laundry anymore. You got to make your own meals. You know what I mean? So life in general just changes fast. So we just had guys like, we had Trent Vittmeyer. We had like legacy legends for veterans that really helped us as we continue to grow.
Yeah, and I think another thing is for one, you're at the field, I don't know.
Yeah. All day.
More than you're at
Too
your
long,
house.
yeah.
So what better way to come together than when you're going through the grind together with guys? And not only that, it's the stuff that you're able to do. And at a place like this, and opportunities you have to go, whatever, out to eat, go fishing, whatever, stuff like that we
Raise
do.
a dog.
Yeah. Have a guy like Hayden. I know Angus better than my dogs probably, because he's literally at the field with us. But it's not only that. It's like when the guys came in, I remember we would always have like team meetings in the locker room, just players only, and we're talking, and especially when stuff got tough. And one of my messages is you're not. I don't know where you came from, or it doesn't matter at this point. That you're playing for LSU.
Yeah.
You're not playing for the name on the back of your jersey anymore. You're playing for me. You're playing for this guy. You're playing for a Will Helmers. We're playing for each other, and I'm playing for you. And I think when guys see that and they come in, especially through the transfer portal, and they come in with guys like us that have been there for 5 years and have poured everything that we could into this program, and they see how much we care about it and how we go about playing the game and how just what this place means to us, I think it's very easy for them to get on board with that.
Yeah, no doubt. Jay.
Yes.
I know you got to go. I'm going to keep this conversation going without you. I appreciate you hopping on. You're a busy man. You got things to do. We're not at the PJ level yet. We're going to get to the PJ level at some point soon, and then we can just leave on our own time. Maybe have a show from the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So y'all are more than welcome to come on the show when we have that.
Join the Mile High Club with us.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Who's us?
And we'll have these conversations a lot in the fall too, fellas.
No doubt.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
No doubt. All right, safe travels, Jay.
All right, fellas. I'll see y'all later.
All right.
No, but to your point, like that's the most important thing, right? I guess this is my last thing I want to say on the portal and the transfer stuff and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, if you're not at a place long enough to build your relationship there, right, or to build your reputation and have a relationship there and be able to meet the people around Baton Rouge or whatever school you're at, baseball's fucking hard. Like, even if you're going to go play, even if you're a first rounder, it's not a guarantee you're going to make it to the big leagues. So being able to be in a place, being able to do what y'all have done, right, and build your reputation and build your connections, the opportunities after the fact for you is a huge thing. And that's what a lot of people don't think about. It's like people ask me, oh, would you want to go anywhere else? Did you want to go to other places? And much to Lloyd's chagrin, I did go visit Alabama. I was prepared to commit to Alabama if they had offered. One of my best friends from growing up was Taylor Dugas had already signed there, and LSU hadn't offered me. That's a whole other story. Anyway, after it didn't happen, after I decided I was coming to LSU, I took a step back and like, that was so stupid, because I wasn't going to live in Tuscaloosa the rest of my life. I was coming back here, and so what am I going to do here if I don't go to school here? And it's just, to me, that's a big thing. And y'all are wearing the G across y'all's chest, right? And I've talked about this a lot. The G team and Gordon and what those guys are doing over there, but with this NIL stuff, is teaching y'all that. He's giving you opportunities. You're making connections with one of the most respected business people around the state of Louisiana, and you're able to understand business, and that is, to me, more valuable than sometimes getting an opportunity to play pro ball, right? Because that's going to last you a lot longer than baseball is going to last you.
Yeah, I actually just had that conversation with a guy. I'm not going to throw any names out there, but I just had a conversation with a guy that was on this year's team, and I was like, we had a long conversation, and one of my main points were, another reason why I came to LSU is the connections you make, and not only that, it's like the guys you're playing with there, and it's the guys that came before you.
Yep.
Like, there is LSU alumni across the country. Not many guys played baseball at LSU, but they're all across the country now.
But still follow it.
And every single one of them you talk to that played baseball at LSU, they're successful in one way or another, in baseball or in life. And, I mean, just yesterday I got off the phone with a national champion pitcher with Skip Bertman.
Doug Thompson?
Me and Doug have talked, but me and him,
don't give names,
Yeah, me and him were talking, and it was like, hey, you ever need anything, you reach out.
Of course.
Job waiting on you. And then not only that, like, just the fans and people of Louisiana, I love hunting and fishing. The amount of people that reach out to me after the season are like, hey, you and some boys get together, y'all are coming down to my place, let's go fishing for 4 or 5 days. Hey, coming up to my place in Arkansas, wherever, we're going hunting, bring all the guys.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And the fact, people would probably laugh at when I say this, but that's a huge, like, what Cord is teaching that, right? He's helping that, and that's a big thing, right? And so, to me, that's a selling point. Obviously, you have to be a different thinker, coming out at a young age to think that way.
You got to grow up here.
Yeah, that's a hard thing. That's a hard thing to think about. You come from California, or big places in Texas or Florida. It's like,
and it's still cool for
it's
still cool for us to see it. At times, it could get old or whatever, but it's still cool to see every day. When you walk into a restaurant and, after a game and 30 kids come up to you for an autograph, or after the game, just not a fans you're signing for, and watching guys that come here from another school, whether it's JUCO or wherever, ACC, whatever, and they're getting to do that and watch them get to go through that. It's way different.
Yeah. Let's talk about the season. Right? Obviously, crazy year.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, pretty wild ride that y'all were on. Y'all started the season, obviously, defending champs. Started off as good as you're going to start off a season. Mm-hmm. And then
you'll have me in the first half, ain't gonna lie.
And then you go through the first part of the SEC and you go through a gauntlet. And it's not like you're getting your ass beat. You are in majority of the games. Now, there was a few games that y'all probably like, okay, that was just fluky games. And then you get put in this really deep hole. Like, I get it. I was in there. Y'all's season this year was identical to my season in 2011.
We've been through it already.
Yeah, we've already done
that was how we got out of this.
Right.
Like, we were right where we were.
It
could have been worse this past year. I don't know. We were 1-9 at one point in time at SEC, and it was a lot of our first times. I think we had a maybe
when was that,
less
21.
We had an even younger team. I think when we went through it at that time, which benefited this team just because guys were still around that had been through that. And I remember going through that. Coach Maneri's last year, we were 1-9, and I think something that plays into that with a team that doesn't have the experience like me or Hayden would have going through the SEC is all you hear about is wait till the SEC comes around. It's different, and then guys like their minds are like, oh God, it's coming. Yeah. They don't know what to expect, and then bam, you get hit in the mouth the first couple weeks, and they're like, holy crap, let's hit the panic button. There's guys like us, we're sitting people down like, hey, it's not time to throw in the towel. Yeah. I've been there. I was that freshman going through SEC play the first time with Dylan Cruz, Jordan Thompson, all these guys, me and him together. We were going through it at the same time, getting punched in the mouth, and you're like, holy crap, how do we get out of this hole? It feels impossible at times. But that was the message is like, hey, it's not time to throw in the towel. We've been here before. There's a way out.
Yeah.
That's where he did such a good job because he started catching more when we started winning, which was correlative because he caught during the 21 season every game. Because I had TJ. I was at home just watching games on the TV. So
I think I caught like 54 games that
he
year.
caught every game in a row, so he knew how to kind of lead and navigate through that. And I told him that when I think he wasn't playing a lot. But, yeah, you said it best. There was like maybe 3-4 games in the year where it was a boat race, whatever. But most of those games were down 1 in the 7th, up 2 in the 5th. Like, just a few innings didn't go our way, and it was indicative of that for a few weeks in a row. So I think it felt a lot worse seeing the record, but it didn't feel that poor when you were there every day. It was just like, damn, that one got away.
Yeah.
And so you got to figure out how to get out of that and go.
Exactly, and y'all did that, right? Y'all got through it. Y'all went through the first half. You go through it, then you start playing. I don't want to say it eases up, but it eased up a touch, I think, at the right time. Like, the back half wasn't super easy because you had to play some teams that are good at the end of the year. But I think when you go to Missouri, which is a boring place to play,
it's tough.
It's cold. It was chilly when y'all were there this year.
I think it was, in the 40s?
Yeah.
And we were in April. We were sweating, like, getting IVs down here to play.
Yeah, and it was in the 40s. So you go up there. It's a tricky place to play. You go there. You take care of business. Probably had a game that y'all probably could have won, should have won.
So after that Sunday game, I caught the Saturday-Sunday game. After that Sunday game, we played a great baseball game that Sunday game. I think Axe started that game and Griff came in, and they both threw great. And I remember talking to the team. I think I had the magic moment. So you give a speech after the magic moment. I was like, hey, this is second half of SEC play. This is where you pretty much put your foot down and we hold the line right here because this is when LSU baseball turns on, and this is when LSU baseball, I've watched it ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
The second half and going into postseason is when LSU baseball makes a run because we're just built for it. Yep. Everybody's kind of getting a little tired, and that's when you just freaking put the foot down and you go full throttle and you just run through it, and that's when you get hot.
Yep, and y'all got hot.
Yeah.
You played, you won games, y'all did everything that you needed to do. You swept, you beat them, and then you sweep. That, I think, to me, that was the coolest thing I saw because
that was fun.
Y'all beat A&M, right, which nobody outside of us expected, outside of y'all, obviously, to do, right? Y'all were in a y'all were in a spot, and people just and A&M was beating teams 15-2, right? Like, they were doing things they need to do. Y'all go and y'all win that series. Then y'all go to Alabama, right? And that was tough. They were good, right? They're a good team. Y'all probably could have won all 3 games.
I was sick to my stomach.
And that's what I'm getting at, right? Like,
but
when you have moments.
He about to pull up the clip.
And you have situations. No, he's not. He's not going to pull up the clip.
Boy, you get your fingers off that clipboard. I can't watch it. I was sick to my stomach after that game.
You're the last person anybody would have, blamed or anticipated anything like that happen. I want to ask, because as a baseball guy watching this.
Oh, yeah.
Mikey has some clips out there, too. Don't worry.
Listen to me. The clip's on the thing where I knocked the home run ball over the other side of the fence before a home run in Major League Baseball.
Nobody ever tries to mess up.
Right.
People don't understand that. Like,
here's my question about that specific play.
Yeah.
So everything that happened the way it was supposed to happen. Called them off early. You go get the ball. Did the ball trickle further than you thought it was going to go?
Such a weird play, though.
It is. Yeah. It's a very weird play.
So I'll explain that whole play, and it'll make everything will make sense. I've replayed that. I replayed that play in my head more times than any other play in my life, probably.
By the way, I'm setting this up for another question. This is journalism.
So
I'll take notes.
I replayed that play. I remember going. He talked to me because he could see it was eating me alive, and I stayed up all night in that hotel room, and that play ate me up because I was like, every game matters, and what felt like I'm smart enough to know that. I kept telling myself that, and he even told me that. That's why me and him have been super close friends for a while. But I'm smart enough to know that one play is not going to win or lose you a game.
Right.
Like, I'm smart enough to know that, and at the end of the day, I knew I'm going back to catch again.
Right.
So I have to get over this. Not only that, I have to show these guys how to get over it. And so going back to earlier in the game, Gage Jump was on the mound, left-handed pitcher. They laid a bunt down, T.J. McCants. It trickled all the way to the edge of the mound. Lefties fall off to the third base side.
But you called it early, too.
So I let Jump take that ball. This is earlier in the game.
Oh, in the game. Okay.
And we had a conversation with the coaching staff, and they're like, hey, you have to go get those baseballs. Those guys cannot. That's the hardest ball for a pitcher to field is anything like right in front of them or to that other side of them falling off. It's a 360 throw. So Griff comes in the game. We get 2 outs. I'm like, ball game. Yep. One more out. We go walk. We go
buckle up, buddy.
I think we go, yeah. We go walk, hit by pitch, and we have a 0-2 count on the batter, or 1-2 count, something like that. The guy swings, and it's a full swing. So when you see the bunt as a catcher, you're already on the edge, and as soon as the play happens, like if you catch a ball and the guy bunts through it, you're not framing it. Like you're ready to freaking go. So it's a full swing. I have to stay back as soon as he swings, it bounces behind. The first bounce it takes is behind home plate. You can see the dirt kick up on the video. I watched it, and
a couple times.
Yeah, and it just steadily. Most balls, like I made the play in the SEC tournament where the guy swung. It bounces up. I jump up, catch it, double play. So this is like almost the equivalent. He swings, it bounces behind, and it gets all the way out to the second base side of the mound, and it's even with the mound.
Yeah.
That's a long run for a catcher. And the guy's a left-handed hitter, pretty fast runner. Because I saw all the comments, all the DMs I got.
Could have set it up, could have done this.
Oh, you had so much time. You had so much time. Oh, when you get back, I have a rope in my backyard for you. Like, guys like, oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Like, freaking guys like that, I'm like, I get it. I don't want to lose. Like, so, whatever. So you're running even with the runner, basically. And as a right-handed guy, you pick it up, and the runner is in the, base path. And Jared, so the way he's at first base is on a strike 3, they're on the side instead of a stretch. I'm past that point where he could
Now he can stretch.
But he can't move at that point because the ball just steadily trickled. I'm picking it up. I'm on the run. I made this play 1,000 times. And as I was going, I had to continue to clear space from the runner because you just hit the runner. You don't think about an interference or something like that in the moment.
Yeah, you just don't hit the runner. Right?
Yeah. All these people think about stuff you could have done when they're watching on TV or in the replays, but come play a game.
The last thing you're thinking about is, I don't want to hit the runner because of runner's interference.
Oh, let me.
You don't want to hit the runner because you want to make the play.
Oh, let me calculate this and slow it down John Wick style. Runner's interference happens, dude. And so the ball, whatever, goes to a little bit to the right bag. Jared can't go get it with the runner. And it wasn't a great throw at any means. I messed up.
Did you hit it with like an over the top little?
No, I didn't.
Little dart.
I did that little shuffle throw. It slipped out the hands, man. And thankfully that didn't end our season. Because I don't know if I would forget myself.
Well, but then I'll go through that. Like that was a crush. Like it's very easy to say, fuck, that's it.
Yeah.
Like damn, like we had that. It's over. It's not it. And it's very hard to do the opposite, which is what y'all did, right? Y'all figured it out, and you didn't cry about it.
Yeah. So
and you go and you win.
Me and him were sitting in the the Alabama football locker room. And I remember having a conversation I called Larson, Milam, and Jake Brown up, and they were just the last ones kind of trickling out after we showered and heading home. And we lost a tough game. We won that Saturday game. We lost another tough game on Sunday, one-run game. And it came down to a few plays that, just like the other game, it came down to a few plays, and then there's probably one really big play. Like I messed up on Friday, and we had another big play, and that's going to happen with a younger team when you don't have full of experienced guys that are going to pick up that slack. Like when you're killing guys like we did the year before, 18-2 in the 6th inning, you can make all the mistakes you want.
Yeah.
But the thing I talked to him about was I don't know for him postseason. We're sitting here. There's two or three teams on the bubble that are ahead of us. We have to sweep Ole Miss, and we hadn't swept all year in the SEC.
They had just beaten A&M.
Yeah, and my message to them was I remember sitting there and Coach Maneri telling us the same thing. We're sitting there at 13 wins that his last year, and it was like, look, this. I remember looking at him. I was like, hey, this is no matter what you read on social media, no matter what any player says whatever, this is not time to throw in the towel. There's a freaking way. We're gonna find a way in the postseason. We're gonna find a way, and I want y'all to stick with it, and y'all are gonna be better because of it.
Yeah.
And they did it. Had tip to them. They stepped up.
Yeah, I mean, 3 to sweep, go in there and win 3, knowing you have to win 3 is hard to do. Winning 3 is hard to do regardless, but then knowing you have to win 3 is even harder. Y'all do that. Then you go and you make your run through the SEC tournament, which I think once people saw, because y'all played great baseball against Alabama. Like, great baseball.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that y'all didn't win the series.
There's games early on we played great baseball. Arkansas,
Right.
Florida.
But to me, that weekend, top to bottom, before Ole Miss, was probably the best weekend that y'all had all year,
yeah,
top to
hands
bottom,
down.
even though there's a couple plays a lot, even though you don't win the series, right? So then you go and you keep that momentum going, you win, you get into the conference tournament, and y'all just fucking you beat Georgia, who crazy when they don't play at Georgia. What happens?
That's a lot of teams. Look at Wake Forest at the World Series last year.
Well, that's why I know Georgia didn't win, and they're not in Omaha. But I was looking forward to watch them in Omaha because Omaha's an equalizer. If you're not supposed to hit homers, you ain't gonna hit homers.
See, that's where I'm not sold on the whole thing. Like I was listening to Jared talk about it earlier about the lineup. Like you need some thumpers down there at the middle to the middle of the order, not your top 4 guys, but your 5, 6, 7, and I've watched teams that had it 1 through 9, and we beat them. And like, I don't want to call any teams out on here, but like, it's
no. Listen, I'm with you.
Well, I think that's why Kentucky's gonna make a good run.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Omaha,
you have to have equalizers in there where it's like, it
doesn't matter if the ball's not carrying.
Yeah, you might have thumpers all throughout your lineup. Get in Omaha and face the best pitching you're going to face all season.
With the worst lighting.
With the worst lighting, with the shadows, with the glare. You have to be able to score. Most importantly,
like
you have to be able to
blindfold
pitch.
on.
You have to be able to pitch and play defense.
People don't realize that either, by the way.
Yeah, like Florida was facing Ty Floyd. Yeah. Florida was facing Ty Floyd with that lighting.
Oh, what did I tell you?
They were thumpers. How many homers did they hit?
Right.
And a few, but
and look, when we say you don't need I don't believe a lineup needs to be full of thumpers.
No,
right? And you need to have, listen. But the best example, this is not college, but the best example, and we bitched about this a lot in the clubhouse, was 2017 Detroit, right? You had Nick Castellanos, who wasn't, he wasn't like big dude. He's a big dude, but like, supposed not fast, so he's not going to be running and stealing bases. You had Nick Castellanos, you had Miguel Cabrera, you had Victor Martinez, you had JD Martinez, you had Justin Upton, who's athletic but didn't run. Right? And then you had James McCann.
So here's my thing. You got guys that hit doubles, but it's still going to take 2 hits to score.
My point exactly, right? Like, they're supposed to hit homers, but then you get the back end half of that, right? So you had Kinsler and those guys in the lineup too. We had a stacked lineup. We didn't win shit.
No.
Because, one, we couldn't close a game. That was one issue. The other issue was it was very hard to sustain offense because if nobody's getting on base and the guys that are supposed to hit homers aren't even hitting solo homers.
Well,
how are you going to generate runs?
Look at our national championship team from 23. You had big time bats in there with big time power between him, Travinski, Joe Bear,
him and
Beloso, Dugas.
Right.
So you have those guys right there, and Tommy and stuff. And then you also have guys that you can't have guys going up there swinging at the first pitch.
No.
And am I going to give him a 0-0 take?
Right.
Heck no.
Right.
Yeah, I'm probably going to take though. I know that I'm going to have to take at some point in time. Like if there's 2 outs and 2 guys came
baseball.
up that have the ability to probably run the ball at the park, let them swing. But you know what? If we get 3 pitches and my guy needs another 2 minutes, I'm going to call offense timeout. Might flash a little fake bunt in there, spice it up a little bit. But I'm gonna put my nuts on the plate and say, you're either going to hit me, put me on, and guess what?
Or I'm hitting
guess who's behind me, buddy?
Right. Well,
Dylan Cruz.
And that's the thing is you have to have a lineup like that.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to have a balance. And I think those teams that are just sold out to straight homers, guess what? Those are the easiest teams to pitch to.
Yeah.
I love catching those games.
Because it's all or nothing. You can get those guys get out. Now, they can do some damage, and that was my other thing. When you face teams like that, if you're not walking guys,
would be the top-ranked team at the box this year with this team this year,
doubt.
and took 2 out of 3 from them. I'm not saying names, but they were a big hitting team.
But here's the deal: if you throw strikes, you don't walk guys, you don't put free guys on base. Who gives a shit? hit the solo homer. I'm good with the solo.
We've been told that since we've been here. Solo won't hurt you.
Yeah.
Just like 2-3 runs.
Listen,
rally killer.
Yeah, just hit a solo. Great. You're gonna probably score a run anyway. Like the odds of us shutting everybody out not very high. No. You're probably gonna score one. If you score 3 runs and there are everybody 3 homers, and you have only 3 runs scored. I like our chances to win.
Keep that pitcher in the stretch as long as possible. Right. With, like, there's something that JJ talks about. We mess with him all the time. It's like
divide a mind.
He says, divide a mind. And because that's what teams like Kentucky live off of, is having guys on base, fake bunt.
Yeah.
You're so distracted that you get so far away from like the task at hand, which is just throwing strikes and execution.
Yeah.
And making plays on defense. And if you can keep a guy in the stretch, guess what? He's thinking about managing base runners. Yeah. I got to cover here if a ball's hit here. Like it's all this thinking.
Just winning baseball.
Yeah.
Winning baseball. That's what you said, right? Like that's we talk about that all the time. Do little things, every little thing that we used to call it, put something in the bucket. Yeah. I don't give you shit if you strike out, but if you made the guy throw 9-10 pitches and you struck out, that's putting something in the bucket.
Yeah, if you
move a guy over,
an extra 3 minutes and you still struck out, but
put something in the bucket.
8 pitch at bat, that puts something in the bucket.
Yeah, like move a guy over, do like everything, especially when you're struggling. If you can say, all right, what did I do today? Instead of saying, what did my forward bat, did I put something in the bucket every at bat? And then now you're saying, okay, instead of failing, you actually had some production.
Yeah. And
then you build your confidence back up. But the reason why I asked about that play and about the run, right? Last game of the season and that play and the adversity you mentioned makes you better over the long run.
Yeah.
You were in a different position at the end of the season to go and basically use that experience with a younger guy who made a similar play. Didn't obviously, and that wasn't the reason that the game was lost. Like Jake Brown, the fly ball, like that wasn't the reason that the game was lost by any means. I've said that a lot of times, right? You still had the game that didn't end it. You still had the opportunity to score. You had opportunities to keep guys in. There's things that happened early in the game, but whenever you got to experience something like that, and you've experienced stuff like that,
everybody has,
right?
Like,
and now he's a freshman at probably the biggest game of his life at the time.
Sure.
Right? How do you help him? What do you tell him? And I shot him a text. It seems like he's
a tough dude. He's full on Louisiana, and he's a tough ball player. And I'll take that field with him 10 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Put him in the outfield. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Let's roll, baby. Like, he's tough. He's my type of player, man. And I felt bad for him just because.
I mean, he didn't play for forever, and then he hits a home run in the SC tournament, and then a home run in that game. And the only reason they were winning because of him.
You know what? We're not.
Yeah.
We're not. But at the end of the day, we're not in that game still. That's a different ball game without Jake Brown playing.
Right.
He hit a homer.
2-run homer.
A 2-run homer. You scored 3 runs that game. He hit a 2-run homer. You're in that game because of Jake Brown.
Right.
So for anybody to sit there and that points fingers at him or blowing him up, whether social media or sending him DMs, whatever, man, like, screw you. You probably play, like, literally screw you.
Yeah.
Like, you probably never played baseball at this level. I don't mean to go on a rant here, but
no, go do it. That's what we like.
But like, put yourself in his cleats, man. Like, that is a freaking tough play. Not many people can say, "Oh, right field's easy, outfield's easy. Go catch the ball." Nobody's played right field. Nobody's played right field.
Well, they
like,
move from right field to center field.
The
and
guy
then get injected into a game in a venue you've never played in.
Yeah, the guy pissed on the ball. Like, it wasn't a lazy fly ball. The guy pissed on the ball. He's on the track. He's about to smoke the wall, and you know what? He was in a good position to make the play, and it just didn't happen. It is what it is.
Well, that's what happens when you play the result too. If you're going to do that, then you have to take into account the 2-run home run.
That's
what
thing.
I don't
get.
You
can't look at the results. You have to look at the process of the whole thing.
And you know what? We had an opportunity to score more runs. We had opportunities to save more runs, but we didn't.
Yeah.
And that's baseball. Live with it. And you know what? At the end of the game, we all did it. I hugged that dude, told him I loved him. He was crying. I was crying. Because he cares.
He apologized, and I was like, dude,
you don't apologize to nobody.
It's baseball. Yeah. Like, that's the same thing with life. How far are you willing to go with the preemptive thought of, like, oh, if I fail, it is what it is.
I told him, you don't
then
know
you
anybody.
Get the results you want. Then there's no fear of failure. Then things happen for you without you trying to
Right.
make shit happen.
Right.
Yeah, like I told him, you don't owe me an apology. We were here because of you.
Right.
We got hot because you were in that lineup. And you know what? I've watched you work your butt off. I have no problem with it. I know you didn't go out there and say, "Oh, let me try to miss a fly ball."
Perfect time for me to flub it.
It's the
Yeah.
perfect time for me to alligator arm it and get no.
Yeah, no.
So, I mean, it's
You know what?
It happens.
That dude plays the game the right
Yep.
way, and I'd play with him on my team or in my clubhouse, locker room, whatever, any day of the week.
what was y'all's take on North Carolina?
As a whole, or the team, the venue, like what, just everything.
Well, let's go team first, and then we'll go like
Experience.
Experience.
I thought it was a cool ballpark. I liked everything like that. I thought their
Yeah.
team was good. Their pitching surprised me. I didn't think it'd be as good as it was.
Yeah.
It's
They were
very
rolling
good
out.
pitching.
But I think that's college baseball as a whole now. Everyone's older. Everyone's bigger. Everyone's stronger.
Yep.
You have guys like me and Al with more experience.
This is
I mean,
last
like,
year
when
with COVID.
When we were in
Oh, it is.
conference
Yeah.
play this year, we were playing dudes who would come in the game with 5 innings on the year, send 8 to 9, but throw in 85% sliders.
And,
Yeah.
And I'm like,
me
what the hell's this?
Me and him talked about it, and I think this was the most loaded and talented the SEC has been.
On the mound or ever like
It just in general was very
Line
good.
up top to bottom, and guys coming off the bench, pitching staffs, like people's 10th and 11th guy were coming into the game, and they are sitting, like he said, 8 to 9 with like 4 pitches.
And
But
throw an inning
like you
out.
had the two
Yeah.
guys at Arkansas who came in on
Was it Sunday?
Saturday, I
Yeah.
thought. Gackle and I think another freshman, I forget, who were both going to be on the USA team, who had 3 innings on the year and both come in throwing 99 power sinkers.
wow.
And we're just like, what? Where are you coming from?
The
Yeah.
guy, what was Tennessee's guy? That was, we laughed about it after, but
Throwing 5 pitches at, yeah. up to
5
100.
pitches and he's running up to 101 with a power sinker. Snead?
Yeah, Snead.
Snead, disgusting.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
Yeah, I thought they were good. They but like it's just baseball, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's just baseball.
I think it was well played. I think y'all did it to him.
Well, I
First
think,
game.
yeah, I also think you're seeing what the portals come to. Like we were
Yeah.
talking about that earlier. It's ACC, SEC.
Yep.
ACC's loaded with talent.
Yeah, they
SEC's loaded with talent because all these schools from, and think about North Carolina, South Carolina, just that region in general.
really good
They
baseball.
had
yeah.
they had 4 regionals, I think, or 3 just in one
Georgia,
state.
I mean, not far from Georgia. Georgia's right there.
yeah.
Clemson, Georgia.
No, it's Clemson, South. I mean, it's
South
Clemson,
Carolina.
North Carolina.
South Carolina.
They
No,
hosted
God,
They're
no,
ECU,
they're
ECU.
because they were South Carolina was in
Yeah,
NC
and then NC
State.
State. So that's 4.
Wofford.
Wofford was not a host though.
No,
but
but
they
I'm
were-
just saying they
Yeah.
were freaking good baseball team.
But those are the teams that get crushed.
yeah.
Like Wofford guys are going to be in the portal. I mean, the kid from Southern Miss a few years ago, Waldrop, in the big leagues, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he transfer to Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You lose all these guys in these mid majors, and that's a hard thing. Which
And
that's
I
just the
think
nature
that's
of the
where
game.
you're seeing the talent is like
Exactly.
everybody heard.
Because how many guys this year where it was like, oh, this guy was D3 last year?
Right.
Like the pitcher for West Virginia, the one that went out there and threw 140 pitches.
Yeah.
Did it 5 times this year, and they were like, oh, he's
5'8", just throwing
Just
BBs.
Just,
like
hey, I'm probably not
competitive
pitching
as
after
hell.
this. I'm just gonna
110,
compete my ass off.
110 strikes, 150 pitches.
Like
That's
Wow.
insane.
those competitors, man. And that
Yeah.
like I had the opportunity as a kid growing up in Shreveport. The coaches at LSU were cool enough with me where they let me like practice with the team, and I'd see kids at that age. I've seen kids at that school with more juice than I've ever seen my whole life. At an NAIA with more juice. So like college baseball as a whole, there's always going to be diamonds in the rough. That's where you get the positives of the portal, where those guys
Right.
have an opportunity to go
Yep.
change their career and change a
Look
program.
at Charlie Condon though, like
See, but I'll see, and that's my thing. I think I will push back a touch on the Charlie Condon stuff. I know he walked on at Georgia, but he was a big recruit coming out of high school.
was he really?
Yeah, like he was. He was
They-
a pretty like he had offers.
I heard that
From what
he
I
wanted to
saw
play. Yeah,
his
no,
profile.
yeah.
Football.
From the whole thing I heard was he wanted to play Division I baseball, and he sat there and wrote Division I school after he might have had offers like at D2 or NAIA or something or JUCOs and stuff.
Maybe.
You might be right.
And I don't know enough about the situation.
But you know what? At the end of the
Anyway,
day,
regardless, that's not the point of the whole
regardless,
thing.
like
He's doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
And that's where I think, and that's my pushback on the portal. That guy did, even if he had scholarship offers elsewhere, out of state or whatever, he's in Georgia. He wanted to be a Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah.
He wanted to play there. He paid his dues. He went through the rough crap when Georgia wasn't winning very many games, and he stayed there. And that's kind of where I was as a kid. I remember sitting at the foot of my parents' bed talking to him when LSU was recruiting me, and I was like, you know what? I got to know if I can play there.
Yeah.
Like, I have to know.
Right.
I would never forgive myself if I didn't. I have to know if I can play there, and I'm going to go compete. And you know what? If I'm not good enough, then I'm not good enough, but I have to know.
I mean, it's when I was coming up. I'm not the old man. This is going to go back to y'all. When I was coming up, coming out of the SEC, people were saying, "Oh, it's like playing in Double-A." Back then, no. In my mind, when I came out back then, it was like playing high A ball.
Yeah.
Had a pretty good lineup, guys. Most of those guys in every lineup can hit, and most of those guys are probably going to get an opportunity because at the time you had a deeper draft, an opportunity to play pro ball, whether it's for half a year, but they're going to get an opportunity in the lineup. Your number one, your number two, always going to be really good. Your number three, some of them are really good. Some of them are just solid college baseball players. No. But you maybe had one or two guys out the bullpen. That was the difference, right? So I was like, no, Double-A, when you go to the bullpen, we played teams in Double-A where everybody out the bullpen threw 97 to 100, right? And so, like, you have all these guys that throw harder, more consistently. That's where the competition increases. Now, I believe the SEC is like Double-A baseball. With the amount of arms that you say that are coming out, how hard they're throwing, how good they are. That's like Double-A.
Well, I go back to when we first got here. It was the fall of 19 when we first got here, but COVID season, whatever. Our team in 21, we still didn't have.
Our hard throwers were 94, 95.
Yeah, right.
We had, and there was two guys. It was Gervais and Reselman.
Right.
That's it. And then last year we had Moff come out of the pen throwing 100 last year.
Right.
Like, so it was just.
Like, we were beating the brakes off teams, and here comes Moff out the pen and throwing 100.
Who did y'all just play at the end of this year? That Moffitt came out. Y'all were getting beat maybe or something. Moffitt came out and threw that one inning. It was Tennessee.
Yes.
And nobody could throw. He comes out and throws it, and he's throwing 98-mile-an-hour super sinkers, and these guys are looking stupid, and the hitter's like,
I think it was
where the fuck does this guy come from?
One of the Tennessee guys looked at me. It might have been Christian Moore or somebody.
Someone like that.
It's somebody. I remember it was Helmers. And somebody said something to me about Moff. They're like, what is this? But my favorite one was Will Helmers. And Christian Moore's in the box, and he's awesome, dude. Like,
yeah, he's very cool.
Believe it or not, like, I know.
And that's
I told you this last time. I told you this last time.
We talked about it. Everybody has this theory, and I will say they were.
Notion.
Because they see certain things and they just take it and run with it.
They were brutal when we went up there our first time in like 21 or whatever, or 20, whatever. It's a pretty hostile environment, but it was a cool place to play. But like, they're even from their coaching staff to their players,
everyone's very respectable.
They're respectable.
Crazy,
they're genuine people. Like, they have respect for players as long as
there was never a game we played against them where it was like,
chippy,
we're about to throw haymakers.
Yeah.
Never once did I.
Now
ever.
Kentucky.
No, same with them.
Really?
No, never once.
What Bear Jones just yelled. He just got competitive and just yelled at the pitcher.
Yeah, but still, like, that
so
wasn't like.
The only reason I bring up Kentucky, and we can go back to their head coach. We almost fought their head coach when he was Mississippi State's first base coach when we played.
Yeah.
So, like,
I like how he coaches. I like how they play the game.
Yeah, but he seems some bushy things.
I know, but he seems enthusiastic.
No doubt.
You know
I don't know him as a head coach.
That's a guy you probably want to play for.
I just know him. I just know him as a pitching coach. Anyway, those types of things. So, like, that's the only reason I ask, because, like, there are certain. I hated Arkansas.
I'll tell you this though, like, across the SEC, he'll say it. Unless one team just starts doing some, like, outlandish stuff, or, like, one player's doing some crazy stuff, everybody respects everybody. Like, we're all in the SEC. Everybody in this league's good. If you're starting at these schools, you're a good ball player. Everybody respects you.
Yeah.
And there's no, like, I've never gone into, like, another place or had a team coming in, like, I hate these guys. I got to beat the crap. No, you just go play. Like, yeah, you're a competitor. You want to beat everybody.
Yeah.
Like, but it's never – I think as soon as you start like Coach Johnson, it's never about the opponent, it's about the play.
Yeah.
And he's 100% right about that. As soon as and we've had guys on our team that would love to talk crap and stuff, and it's like, dude, you struck the guy out. You struck him out. You beat him. Like, why do you want to wake them up and make it personal for them? Yeah. And that's when teams come back and get you. But they're all respectful, dude. And, like, I have respect for all those guys. And I think another thing cool about baseball is, like, you mentioned Kentucky. It's you have different brands of baseballs at different schools and depending on what players they recruit. And that's the cool thing to see. Same thing with North Carolina. I thought made their lineup really good was bottom of their order was so scrappy.
God,
they had some thumpers at the front half. And
that third baseman's pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
Gallagher
he was
couldn't
impressive.
miss.
He took 8 hits away from Tommy.
Yeah, I mean,
alone.
he doesn't. He's. I think what impressed me the most about North Carolina is how unbelievable they were defensively.
They're a well-rounded team. Like honestly, like I said,
watching them take IO, we were like, damn, they're crisp.
Yeah, they're smooth out there. They're freshman catcher.
And you can tell, right, when you watch in and out, it's like, oh, damn, this team.
You can just see if a team flows and how they're moving.
Yeah, their pitching staff was top to bottom very good. And their lineup was well freaking balanced. They had a few thumpers, had guys that lay it down. They had scrappy hitters and it's the scrappy hitters that, in my opinion, are the tough ones because it's like they're not trying to hit a homer on you. They're making contact, and they're going to take you deep. Yeah. And you're going to show them every pitch probably the first time through the order.
Engage it at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason why.
I got fouled off like 5 pitches.
Yeah, and then Gallagher, the double down the line, didn't hit it hard.
You get your
hit it in the right spot.
That's why I think your lineup with the big thumpers, like I said, that's my favorite game to catch. You know why? The swing and miss is so high.
Yeah.
And that's why we beat a team at home this year that was winning games and beating the crap out of people, but like there's holes with guys that just straight thump. And Kentucky, the brand of baseball they play is one of the toughest to play against if you don't have the lead.
Because it's always action.
If they have the lead on you or it's an even game, they're running, they're putting stress on your pitcher.
Y'all had to play them last year in the Supers, and y'all neutralized that because y'all just got out.
Played them in the regular season
the regular season, right? And like. Y'all were able to get a lead on them, and so they weren't able to do that because they're not going to be able to come back like that unless you kind of give them the game.
That's where I think I think Kentucky's got one of the best chances to win out.
Yeah.
Well, just Omaha because wind's a big factor.
Yes,
we won't talk about that. We had a few games last year where wind saved us from keeping in homers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they'll be able to bunt, they'll be able to hit and run.
Yeah.
They don't need to leave the ball
there. Like. I know Coach takes pride on being
able to win.
But we
hit, 4 homers there? Maybe?
Yeah, and think about all the homers we hit. But that's what's so big is, like, Coach does a great job of preparing you for that. Coach Johnson does a phenomenal job preparing us for that. It's like we have to be able to win baseball games with no home runs hit. We have to be able to pitch, play defense, and manufacture runs.
Yep.
Yeah. It's hard to rely on the homer. It's hard to go up to the plate. Yeah, I was never a guy.
Well, that's why baseball's in a weird spot.
You're going to lose a lot of games.
I'm saying that as someone who is based around power. I don't even like the fact that, because it becomes a crutch of it's do or die.
I can tell in your swing, though, you are a homer
he
guy.
Hits Oppo
but that's like the one you hit in the 10th inning of North Carolina. Like, that one to me.
Oh, it's cooler. I know.
I feel like it's sexier when you hit it than hitting a home run 400 feet. Like, that's awesome. I know I could do that. When I do that, it's like, damn.
I told him all the time when I was catching in the fall and stuff. I was like, because he did it a lot last year when he took off, and I told him when I was catching, I didn't know what to call or I didn't know what we could throw you when you showed the ability to shoot a freaking piss missile right over the second baseman's head, but also turn on the ball and put it out the park. Yeah. And that's when he got, in my opinion, dangerous. And I loved watching him do that and just he just cutting swings down and freaking staying on stuff. He's dangerous.
Yeah, it's
when that happens.
It was really good baseball to watch. Obviously, the whole regional was really good to watch.
Yeah.
But when the season ends, right, the last part, you go through it, you don't win. What's that conversation like in the clubhouse? I remember how it was for us. It's a lot of reflecting, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Well, and again, the portal's such a big deal now where for a lot of people it becomes, all right, what's my next step? for us, it was like, all right, they're kicking us out.
Come back if you want me.
And then
They're putting bug spray. We're gone.
Yeah.
yeah, so I think for us it was just a lot of reminiscing, a lot of good times here, a lot of tough times.
Yeah.
So just being able to appreciate all of it.
Sad, but
it's just a bow tie on it. Like,
Yeah.
of course I would have liked to go to Omaha, but I think it's kind of a poetic way to end it.
But
being that it's not what we
also,
want.
I was also very happy where we were able to leave the program. I know me and him talked about it. That was a big reason we came back, is the care and love we have for this program, where we wanted to see it go. And something me and him talked about was,
So that shit matters, man.
yeah,
No, it does.
It matters.
we put so many blood, sweat, and tears here, and we deeply care about it. And I always want to see this program be at its best. Like, if that coaching staff called me and said, "Hey, we're heading to Flemings to recruit, we need to get them here," I'm there.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm
Mainly
not
for
even
the
part of
free
the
meal.
team anymore. But
You're
Yeah.
not there to help. You're there for the
yeah,
food.
I'm there for the crab cakes and that chantilly cream. No, but honestly, man, like, me and him had the talks over the summer after draft, and what are you thinking? What am I thinking? And it was like, I don't want to see this program go to where some other schools have been after Omaha. And it's not just Mississippi State or Ole Miss. Like, there was ball clubs all throughout past 2000s that had big fall offs. Like, they won it and they never really recovered from it. And that was something me and him talked about, is being able to walk away from this place knowing like it's in good hands, and it's always going to be in good hands with the coaching staff we have, but it's the player thing. It's like, this is how you lead, this is how you handle adversity, this is when you push buttons, this is what is allowed here, this is what we're going to put our finger down, and this ain't happening. This ain't how we roll.
that was my next question, is right. Like, y'all finish, y'all go through the whole thing. You have those. Y'all came back for that reason, and there's a lot of guys leaving that would assume that role. Like, a lot of guys that are sophomore eligible, I say leaving. They don't know. We don't know. Potentially leaving, not even getting to that junior, senior year to be able to go and do that. But you have guys coming back that are freshmen who played the entire year, basically, right? So now next year they're going to have a larger role, which that's got to make y'all feel good, knowing you have three guys that got significant playing time as a freshman at pretty premier positions. And then you have, I don't know what Pearson's going to do, but maybe he's going to come back for his senior year. And now you have a fifth-year veteran, which, that motherfucker, every time he comes up to base with runners in scoring position, you feel like he's going to get a hit.
JP?
Yeah.
He's the man.
Yeah, he gets way too much flack. We joke about it all the time.
Postseason Pearson, baby.
Well, not postseason Pearson. I mean, ever since Josh got here, we had 3 40-winning seasons back to back to back.
Yeah.
He's a big piece.
He says that himself. He goes, ever since I got here.
But no, honestly, like,
he gets way too much flack.
But some of the stuff he does doesn't show up in the stat line.
Right.
And I feel that. I've caught heat for it, but some of the stuff I do might not show up in the stat line, but it means something. There's a reason why we were 24-5 when I caught. It's because some of the stuff I do doesn't show up in a stat line, but it's winning baseball. Yeah. And that's exactly what that guy does. And I'd love to see him come back in that uniform, because
no doubt,
I love the way he plays. I got a little fired up right there.
No, I love
that's
that.
real, dude.
And here's the deal: if he play like he goes out there, he plays every day, he's gonna hit 15 homers.
Without a doubt.
You know what I mean? Like, he had 9 this freshman year, he had 8 this year.
That was another thing.
In and out the lineup, like,
that was another thing. Once we had a set lineup for that.
That's when we took off.
Fourth week of SEC,
you've been saying all year.
We think Jay listens.
Like, hey, dude, just
that was nothing. I think we had a lot of pieces to figure out,
and I get that.
But you know what? When we set that freaking lineup, it was like, hey, these are our freaking guys. Everybody in that dugout that's there. These are our guys. But hey, you show up to the field and you're 0 for 2 the last day. You're back in that lineup. Let's freaking roll.
Yeah.
This is the toughest dudes on the field right now. Let's go beat some people's ass. Like,
no doubt.
That's how we felt, and I think that's when we got hot.
And then you have let's talk about the freshmen too, right? Like, when you leave a program, you want some of these young guys to be able to take that role, right? Because that's how you build a program and sustain that. Portal's great. Can't build the portal you can't have a team full of portal guys every year and expect to consistently win. It's too hard to do that. You have to build it with
I agree.
You have a foundation. You have to have a core group of guys and a foundation.
Sure.
And you have to have freshmen come in there as freshmen, play well, and develop and get them for 3 years, so you have a cornerstone player for 3 years, whatever that may be. you have 3 guys that got the opportunity to do that, and you would like to see them take the next step. Obviously, Milam is he had the most playing time. He played from basically the beginning of the season.
Second game on.
Started off super hot, went through the SEC, which is hard, right? They're going to make the adjustments. You're probably going to struggle as a freshman. It's a matter of can you make the adjustment or not. He makes the adjustment plus some, right? Has a great season. He's the guy there. Then you have at the end of the year, then Larson pops in there, and you feel like every time he's up to bat, it's a 15-pitch at bat. You know, he shoots a ball at left center.
Crazy eyes.
I like to see him get the head out just a couple more times, maybe early in the counts. I don't know if he's
I'm
one of the
with that
guys
too.
with the take. I don't know, but he took
big-
some cock shots down there, and I just wish he'd get the head out a little bit.
I think to their credit,
They grew up
he
fast.
played a lot.
Jake
He
Brown.
played a lot as a freshman, given it was a short season. It's not an easy thing to do, not at all at that age. And like to Stevie's credit, for example, I think he had 2 hits in the fall,
Yeah.
and then turns around and hits 330
Yeah.
through a whole year. So I think,
And he stuck with it.
I think
that
that's
was a
all
cool
it's
thing to
really
watch.
about.
He's a
But,
gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think also to your what you were talking about is I don't think any of us have hard feelings toward any guys that left the program.
No.
And to some of their credit, I'm glad some of them did. I think that's the best thing for them. But at the same time, like we told the team in the middle of the year, I don't think a lot of those guys don't want to leave either.
Right.
But it's just what's best for them. And,
Yep.
you know, we were talking when things started struggling. We were like, hey, this is our freaking team. Like,
Right.
nobody's coming in this locker room this year to help you right now.
Like, this is
Like-
all we got, yeah.
Yeah, nobody's coming in here to help you, and we're going to get everybody's best shot.
Right.
Not because you did it, but because of what some of us were part of. And one, you're going to get everybody.
You're gonna get your ass punched in the mouth because of what
Yeah.
we did.
I literally had that speech. You
Yeah.
can ask him. He kind of laughed at me because I was like, I try to be, talk to everybody at the same level. And I will get fired up, though, because like I said, I care about it. And
Right. I
get in
that.
people's
No doubt.
stuff. But, like, I had a speech early on. It's like, hey, if we continue down the road we're going right now, we are going to get freaking embarrassed on national TV.
Right.
I will not be a part of that. I will not let that happen. He will not let that happen.
Yeah.
And you have to change. And guess what? You're going to get everybody's best shot because everybody wants a piece of us now.
Yeah.
We just won it. Everybody wants to come in here and beat the living crap out of us and embarrass us because of what some of us were a part of last year and what this team hasn't done yet and hadn't come close yet.
Yeah.
So we are going to have to change, and we stayed on it all year. And also with the portal thing, we're like, hey, if you don't like it right now where we're at when we're 3-12, leave. Get out.
Yeah.
And not
No,
that I think
not even
that
in a disrespectful way. It's just if you didn't want to be a part of it.
if you
it's fine.
if you don't want to go through what we're going through right now, go. Like if you're ready to hit the portal now, go. Get out.
And if you think this isn't going to happen somewhere else, like you're not built for it.
But you
Like,
know what? And even I'm not even saying the guys that are in the portal were
Right.
a problem or nothing like that. Those guys were just as invested. And after we talked about it, and everybody's like, "Yeah, you're right. Like this is our team. I'm not ready to be done yet." Like
Yeah.
everybody was invested, and we freaking rolled.
Yeah.
I was proud. I was proud
No,
of this
man,
team.
I was proud to watch it.
Yeah, just the sins of your father. It's like, this isn't your fault, but you're about to get beat up right now. Like, sorry, he did it, but you're part of this now.
Yeah.
So
George
you
Washington
blows.
did this.
Yeah. I know you didn't cross the Delaware, but
You sneak us
man.
on Christmas? That's your ass.
it's your ass. We're taking a holiday.
But yeah, no, we were proud of y'all. Obviously, I wish y'all were still playing. Y'all wish y'all were still playing. Everybody wishes around it wishes it. Like that's obvious.
Yeah.
But it gave us a fun ride. You have 8 teams in the championship, right? In the College World Series.
3-1, 3-1. SEC.
Is it? I thought
Yeah.
it was. I thought SEC had 4.
3 ACC on one side, 1 SEC.
Oh yeah.
3 SEC, 1
Okay.
ACC.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. If Georgia would have won,
Yeah.
it'd have been 4
Yeah.
and 1.
NC State's good.
What do y'all like? That's what I asked. So like they asked this question. Now y'all are more into it than y'all know more about it than we do, right? Like we've seen the SEC. I've always seen North Carolina.
I watched a lot of the regional games and stuff. And
Regionals, hey,
super regionals.
before we get to that,
I also think, I don't know, balls seem juiced, bats seem juiced.
really, are you
yeah.
being serious here?
Yeah.
I'd see it. What have I told you?
Well, yeah.
I just feel like I see a
didn't
lot.
experience it.
I just
gave
feel.
me a
I feel like I
different
saw.
bat model.
I feel like I saw a lot of cheap homers.
And that's
where I was
I'll
because it reminisced of
Did you use
2019 in the
special bat
bigs where it was like
Yes.
dudes are scooping shit out the dirt
Dude,
for homers.
There was balls that were being hit opposite field at 94 miles an hour off the bat and
The
going
Alabama
three.
game.
The Alabama game.
Oh, the wind's howling out though. At
Oh,
some
it
of
was
these
okay.
parts.
So that's a little different.
Yeah.
But I saw a home run hit in the A&M game. Or they played Oregon? Was it Oregon?
Yeah, the wind blows there hard though.
Yeah,
But a lot of
listen,
times
dude,
it's a
he
big
hits
part.
this ball opposite field, 90 miles an hour off the bat, home run.
I can't attest for everybody. I've heard things from multiple programs that people doing nefarious things. But
Oh yeah.
Again,
I've heard that too.
again,
Saw it.
we're in an era where we have
Good,
some
talk
of the
about that.
strongest. No, I'm not talking about that. Some of the strongest kids that have ever played college baseball. Some of the most juice that's ever played college baseball. So again, like,
Well, but here's I don't think Juice has more. Like, I'm not necessarily even like the bats are definitely more juiced than when they first started the BB core stuff, and they've progressively gotten there. But I think the era that y'all are in now, I think it's more they changed the balls too.
Yeah.
So like back then, whenever the bats used to be juiced, the balls stunk, but it didn't matter because the bats were so juiced, and so they did that. But now you got juiced bats and juiced balls, and you have guys hitting. I don't know. I want to somehow find the stat. I would imagine that there is more players in college baseball this year with 20-plus home runs than maybe ever in the history of college baseball.
no, well, the record was already broke, like for most homers in college season.
No, I know, but most players with 20
I'm
homers.
absolutely agreeing.
Like it has to
Well,
be,
think
right?
about it, like we had Barry was a 6th overall pick with 16 homers. Tommy hit 50 something in 2 years,
Right.
and he's not gonna go top 10.
It's also
Yeah.
going like power on power in the game, but I do agree. Like the seams are tighter on the baseball.
they're new.
They're more
They're minor league
comparable.
baseball.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
No, that's exactly right.
And it's they made the change in baseballs a while back. It hasn't
Because you were part of the first BB core kind of era, and those
Oh my
were
God.
dog
we hit
like
you know,
bad.
we hit 30 home runs my junior year.
So
the first
I'd rather them be that bad than overly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
No,
leader,
you were saying they were bad.
they were terrible.
Yeah, that's how I thought you were saying we had guys hitting 30
No,
home runs.
we
So I
as
was
a
like,
team.
Yeah.
As a team, yeah.
As a
What'd you have, like 14?
I had half.
You had
See,
like 15.
but I'd honestly rather it be like that.
But like
I'd rather it be
the
like that.
leader in the SEC that year was Mike Zunino with 16. Before the postseason, he ended up with 19 for the year.
Big leaguer
We got Christian
Right.
Moore hitting 380 with
30.
30.
Listen, it's just
He's
not.
unreal.
No,
He's
no
a
doubt.
great
But
player.
like to me, there was they got to the happy medium,
And then they
and
pushed
that was
it.
then they pushed it.
Well, also, like, everything's a business.
Yeah, you're right.
College
Everyone
baseball is
wants homers.
doing really well. Homers
Yeah.
generate a lot of people coming to see. Small ball yards,
I'd
more
never-
homers, more
Yeah.
more $8 hot dogs are bought, more $7 bottles of Dasani are bought.
No, I've never.
Going after big water.
Yeah, especially Dasani.
It's 355 in right center at North Carolina.
Yeah, it was kind of a shame we didn't hit more homers.
Like the park went
Yeah, I know.
cuts
I know.
in back to center. It was weird.
But that's
Because
what
it
Jake
was
Brown had to
3,
deal
but it was
with.
340 down the line, wasn't it?
330.
35,
Yeah, in
335
that
down.
range.
Left field was kind of, it was
Yeah, it was 335.
normal park there.
Yeah, but we.
It's
I
like
never
Georgia.
thought Georgia's a joke.
See, it's like
joke.
299.
It's
right
an
field.
absolute.
Well, no, I thought it flew to left really well too.
It does
does.
fly left really well.
Yeah.
Flies everywhere.
It's a joke.
It's a good park.
It's a great park to hit.
To hit.
But I never thought the 1997 home run record from LSU was ever get even sniffed. It was 188 home runs they hit in a year. Tennessee's like 25 away from that. They're not gonna get 25 home runs in Omaha, obviously, but like, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, look, and these players are better. Like they're more. The swings have changed to get to homers. I understand all of that. I don't care. Like an uptick in homers is one thing.
But it's also you
To
got
have
better
this-
pitching.
Yeah,
You would
but-
think it would be the other way around, like less
Exactly.
homers.
Right.
And the averages are up too.
Yeah, it's I'm with you. It's everybody wants the offense, but it is, to me, they overshot it a little bit.
Yeah.
Ben talked about it the other day. I was watching the Georgia regional,
Did he?
super regional, and even Ben was talking about it. Like you got to find a happy medium.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about pitchers like safety.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember I'd be, especially from in the dugout, you can kind of, you know when a ball's gone. You can tell when a hitter hits it when it's gone. There was a lot where I'm like, dude, no way.
Yeah.
No way. Wow, that actually got out.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot watching TV, and I'm like, the way it comes off the bat, because like in the dugout, it's almost hard to see the angle of the baseball, how it comes off, right? You can hear it, but it's hard to see it from the dugout. But on TV, you get the angle. And so I'm watching some of these balls get hit, and I'm like, that's a pop-up. Like, he didn't get it. It may come off the bat, off the barrel, but he didn't square it up, and just keeps going.
Who hit one at the SEC tournament? Was it you or Bear that hit one that
Bear.
was like 80?
No. What?
Somebody
For
hit
Homer?
one at the SEC tournament. It was like 89 miles per hour off the bat.
Oh, what shot me? No. Bear hit a ball at the beginning of the year. Bear should have had like 35 homers. I'm going to be real.
Oh, yeah.
Because
He
within
had
the
a
first
couple-
2
yep.
weeks, he hit a ball 117
Yeah. Went straight in.
to
Remember that.
dead center for an F8, and I was like, holy shit, if that doesn't go.
Yeah.
But he also
117.
117,
He's got
perfect.
stupid juice, huh?
and he'll ass out homers, and it's so impressive. He'll get jammed and pimp homers.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a good ball player.
Yeah, he's a strong man.
Bear.
But yeah, I've been. I'm glad y'all noticed that, because I've noticed. I feel like the balls are juiced and the bats are juiced. But like sometimes when you tell someone in the moment, it's like discrediting what they did. I'm not trying to do that. I just think that some of
You
the
wish
balls.
you had them.
What?
You wish-
I wish I had them. I did. I do.
I think you were fine either way, probably.
Yeah, but it was great. I mean, dude, if you hit 20 home runs in the SEC, then it was like, wow. Now people are
Now
chasing
we got like
40.
8 dudes hitting 30 something. Yeah.
I think you're going to – if they don't change something, you will see guys hitting 40.
Yeah.
Especially at some ballparks.
That can't happen.
It's pretty sick.
That would be cool.
I mean, it would be
That
awesome.
would be cool.
I mean, it's
But,
why
like-
people fell in love with it at the beginning, right?
I understand, but,
you
like,
went- it's almost
you
a
can
different
still have
brand.
a lot of homers.
What saved big league baseball?
You're right.
Homers.
Now they're trying. Now
Everything's homers save everything.
You're right. I understand that part
Chicks
of it.
dig it.
That's what they
Tale
say.
as old as time. Chicks
That's
dig
what
the
they
long
say.
ball.
I get them with that. They see me that.
He
They
gets
see me
them.
receive that
He gets them
baseball.
with the
let me show you. Let me do a little finesse on you. Watch this bunt I'm about to put down third base.
Watch how hard I can throw the ball down to second.
Yeah, that.
Oh, dude, watch me frame this thing.
I thought you. I thought you were
game.
gonna get some innings on the bump.
We lobbied for it. We lobbied also for JP a lot in the
knuckleball.
postseason.
Really, his knuckleball.
Plus
Unreal.
knuckleball. I got him to
You're gonna
get.
catch it. You're gonna catch it.
No, me.
We need
I'm
big
his
catch-
personal
we need big
catcher.
target.
First catcher.
Yeah, no, like
We
it
were-
changes so much. You need a big target back there.
We were in the SEC tournament
Mirror
throwing them at like our practice sessions. I'd go in the bullpen and catch them, and we had like the media that would stand behind us. And like I got him to tweet out like Josh Pearson's throwing knuckleballs to Hayden Travinski.
Somebody like quote tweeted that. It's like, oh, we're screwed.
Yeah.
We're about to throw.
I'm telling you, if whatever fails for Josh, he has an option as a big league knuckleballer.
There's a place on a big league roster for him throwing that knuckle, and
It's that real.
and we're going in the SEC tournament championship, and they're like, we have no pitching left. And then there's people tweeting like, word on the street is Josh Pearson knuckleballer for the other team for Tennessee. Guys are putting out, we're about to face a knuckleballer throwing 75 miles per hour. Like he's an outfielder. It's like we're gonna win. We have to.
Oh my God! What about?
Seen anything like
So
it?
Jake Brown's a pitcher too, right? That's what he came in for. Is he like?
That guy.
Do you think he's gonna end up pitching or hitting or doing both?
I feel like if you're in college as a 2A, I feel like it's smart to ride it out no matter
Right, no
what.
doubt.
At least in college.
Is he gonna get the opportunity to do it? Like, how is he on the mound?
Well, he did. He threw for us in the fall
he
and the
threw in
spring.
the fall. He
Oh,
just
but that in an actual game?
yeah, but
Like
scrimmages, stuff
oh,
like
no,
that.
I'm
not
talking about,
in,
like,
not in
yeah,
game.
season.
I
But
think
also-
he obviously has the potential. It's there.
Yeah.
He was running up to
starting,
fours.
But he's a
Wow.
great pitcher. I caught him, but like he was a leadoff hitter in every like sim game. We had 20 innings fall games and stuff, leading off, starting in right field, and like what he brought to the table as an outfielder and as a hitter and stuff, I thought outweighed the pitching. But I could see him doing both. It's just tougher in today's game, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We were talking about the other day with Paul. Like, He's another dude that would have had 20, 25.
Speaking of falling off, y'all watching what he's doing right now? I mean, I know y'all are some shocked.
Yeah, I'm not shocked.
No,
But,
yeah.
like, dude.
But he
So
throws
I-
6.1
It's what he's supposed to
I
do.
watched it last night.
6.1
That's what he's supposed to do.
Right.
Away team.
He got a standing ovation from the Cardinal fans.
That's cool.
And so, like, I'm watching.
And that's a good fan base, too. So
Yeah,
they know.
Great,
They know.
Great fan base. I paid $150, whatever it is, for the MLB package because his debut fell on,
Mother's Day.
was it Mother's Day weekend?
We were playing.
Right, Mother's Day weekend, and MLB, because MLB is terrible at
MLB,
promoting their
with the
players.
blackouts.
So it's all blacked out. But what MLB.TV did said, hey, free weekend for the moms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you get a free trial. So I got the free trial for the weekend, and I forgot to cancel it. And I have it. But every time Paul starts, I watch it. I can watch it now. And, I mean, he was good in his first start. Obviously, he's a little juiced up, I'd imagine. But after that, I mean, last night, he was filthy. He has that sprinkler, whatever the fuck they call it.
Me and
Splinker.
him caught it.
We caught it before the season because he was like,
So he had it last year, and
well,
He's
so
never
we'd go.
No,
for his
so-
his changeup's
fours.
kind of dirty too.
Not kind of. It's
No,
gross.
it's disgusting.
He was able to just pull it
89
out
miles
against
per hour.
I saw
Tennessee. And it was
he
just
did it yesterday, one pitch.
It's 90 miles per hour.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
no. We'd catch him like preseason.
Yeah.
Because last year I'd always catch his bullpens. I wasn't playing. And so I like to do it just because it's easy to do, but the stuff is so good.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Hey, what? Let me throw this to you. I've been playing with this," and it was just wow. And I was like, "Dude, that's
It's 95.
unbelievable."
95 miles an hour.
And like he so
He
like a
just,
split.
Did you just pronate?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
He's
does he
just
grip it like a
freak.
fastball and then just?
His hands
pronates
are
it?
so large.
Yeah, he
that
can do whatever he
he can
wants.
manipulate it really well.
I think like he throws his slider like this, but his obviously he doesn't have these.
Those those baby claws.
It's like these Debbie cake freaking fingers, whatever I got, Italian sausages. Like he holds his fastball like this, like it's a 2-seam or whatever standard. For his slider, his fingers are just like so freaking big. He just slides it to the side and rips it from right there, and
Wow.
he has incredible command of it.
Yeah.
Like the same slider he was throwing in high school, and he's probably made some tweaks, but he also developed a curveball.
Yeah, he threw that last year too.
Which he threw that last year, and he like. I think that's a good pitch. You know what I mean?
The
usually-
more pitches you have, it's the better. It's
if
just
you
a lot
can
of
control
guys.
them, a lot of guys can't control it.
It's like working on 10,000 ways to punch, or
Yeah,
that
yeah.
saying.
But he, I mean, dude, he
You
is.
nailed that.
Continue having
Holy shit, you nailed that one.
What is it? 10,000.
Practice
Oh, you-
practice
I was
one
surprised-
punch 10,000 times or
Is that it?
10,000 punches one time. Yeah.
Yeah. Some guys try to throw too many pitches, and like
Got you.
there's 2 that are good and 3 are crap.
Right. No,
He's not the case.
6
If
and
you
a
have
third.
2 quarterbacks, you have none.
Correct. I guess.
I guess.
Is,
Yeah.
I don't think that plays.
I don't know
It's the
football well
exact
enough
same
to.
situation. If you have
No, I don't
too
think
many
so.
options, then maybe you don't have any options.
That's,
So if you throw a couple of pitches pretty good, but none of them that good, same scenario.
yeah, right. I got you.
Shakespeare.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Some people don't realize.
But he was filthy yesterday. His manager was my hitting coach in Tampa, Derek Shelton. Great dude. And Shelty, kind of an old school guy.
I'm about to say I think they got some good things going on in
They do.
Pittsburgh.
Kind of an old school guy. I love the fact that he brought him back out for the 7th,
To let him get the over.
right, and let him get to go. He got an out, and then the other guy who got the base hit literally was the greatest I've ever seen in my entire life. This guy fouled off every pitch that Skeens threw to him. Skeens threw one changeup. He pulled the changeup out to try to get him out because the guy was not swinging and missing. He was fouling everything off. He even fouled that off. Then he fouled that up with 100, fouled it off. Then he threw a breaking ball. Guy got a single. I'm like, damn, that was the greatest I've ever seen. Then he got taken out.
That's another thing. It's like where the games go, and especially in college, where it's like power on power, and some people are so scared of homers and stuff that every pitching coach, like across the board, not just one league, one division, one team, whatever.
Right.
Everybody's trying to strike guys out, but what's starting to happen is you're seeing starting pitchers get yanked in the 4th inning because they're at 90 pitches instead of saying, hey, I don't want the first time through the lineup, I don't want this guy seeing more than 2, maybe 3 pitches, but I need to get him out in the first 2 pitches, and I don't want to show him all my stuff. Like
Greg Maddox made a career out of that.
Yes.
Greg Maddox probably could have struck out way more people if he wanted to, but he's like, well, I'd rather go 9 innings and throw 98 pitches.
Yeah,
Walk
now,
no one.
in this guy's second or third at bat when there might be a runner at second, and now he's just seen your slider for the first time. He's just seen your curveball for the first time instead of showing him everything you have just to strike him out in the first inning. Like, I think that's hurting a lot of pitching right now.
I agree. I think part is that, and then I think it's analytics.
Bullpens are getting taxed.
I don't want you to. You don't
Yeah,
want to see
I think there's a natural ebb and flow of the game that analytics can definitely derive. But again, I know analytics has helped players get jobs. I know it's helped keep them in professional baseball. So it's just again
I'd like
pros
to see
and
it go
cons.
back a little bit more back to a player's game.
Sniff test.
I like. As a player, there's only so much info I feel like you need to know before it overrides your instinct. Once your instinct, like, information's always a plus. It's always a benefit. But once it just becomes paralysis by analysis.
Right.
That's been my biggest issue my whole life is too much information, and then it becomes like a complete storm of, like, how the hell do I figure this out?
You know who that reminds me of? Micah Gibbs. Have you ever talked to Micah Gibbs?
Trust me. Him and I have talked about it.
You have a very similar.
Yeah, we do.
But he's so smart.
Yeah, but that's a problem.
Yeah.
If you told Micah
my dad told me the same thing. He's like, if you had anybody else's brain, man, you'd be in the bigs at the moment.
Tommy White.
Like, yeah, just go hit. Right? Like, but if you told Micah Gibbs when he was struggling, hey, you need to stand on your head with one arm and swing with a broomstick, he would do it.
Yeah.
That's my problem. I'm too coachable at times.
But it's because, like, I read this. And it says that 100% or 75% of hitters that do this, then he tries to do this, then he tries to do that. Now he's thinking about every little piece that he's trying to figure out.
I think it's just about what's applicable.
Bro, it's
to
social media too nowadays.
Oh, dude, social media hitting coaches.
Yeah, I see 10,000 hitting coaches, and I see 10,000
different things.
Videos of this guy in the portal. That's all I see on Twitter now. It's portal players and porn. No.
No. For you page. Lecture private now, you're fine.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and like everybody's talking about these cues and these cues and these cues and
everyone makes it a lot more difficult.
But nobody asks how does this athlete or my player interpret information and then apply information? How do I get player 1 and player 2 to go to this same goal and coach it 2 different ways and they both can get there the same way? And that's the problem.
There's a bunch of hitting coaches that are around
Not
baseball.
enough Tomamanskis in the world.
Right. They got caught cheating.
You know what's really cool about Skeens, going back to him? So I lived with him in the fall, and we still talk at least once or twice a week. We'll talk on the phone. And we were talking, I was like, man,
See, I love that. Talk on the phone.
Uh-huh.
Not texting.
Oh, we don't text.
Talk on the phone. I love that shit.
Well, we talked the other day, and if we try to text that conversation,
right.
I hate it. But we were talking on the phone, and it's just talking about the difference between college and pro. And this is going back to his spring training, and he was just like, he's kind of goofy, but he's like, you make a mistake here, and you could execute a great pitch, and this guy's going to hit a homer like that one guy in the spring training. He threw a two-seamer, and it's like a full foot out of the zone. That guy pulls it for a homer at 101. Uh-huh. But we started talking, and I was like competition level, SEC, all this. And he was like, honestly, at times in the SEC, it was harder to get guys out. It was harder to pitch in the SEC than he's in the big leagues right now.
Yeah.
And we're talking about this, and you started thinking about it and what guys' goals are at the plate and what they're trying to do in the box. Like I said, that's my favorite game to catch. There's a lot more holes in there. There's a lot more ways to pitch around guys. And versus SEC, you're facing a guy like Skeens. You're sitting on one pitch, his fastball, which you're going to throw more than any other pitch.
And you're hoping you hit it.
And they're just trying to make contact, and it turns into little blue pits in college.
Yep.
With metal bats.
Yeah, metal bats. You don't have the fear of breaking the bat. Like any of that kind of stuff.
Whereas those guys, you're getting all this information that you aren't in college and how to pitch these guys. And not only that, a lot of those guys will sell out to one pitch and they won't come off of it unless they get it.
Right. No doubt. No doubt. No, it's been fun to watch. It gives me something. It's honestly brought me back to big league baseball. Right. I kind of took a break from watching all that, but I'll watch it now. Like I was watching the who played who was on primetime last night? Red Sox and the Phillies. Schwarber home run first pitch of the game, by the way, which was awesome. He's my favorite. But he brought me back to the game. So I get to watch
leadoff hitter.
What?
Prototypical leadoff hitter.
That's right. You know, he has the most home run. He averages the most home runs per at bat in June than anybody in the history of baseball. He hits a home run
June?
in the month of June. He hits a home run like every 10 at bats in June.
You're talking about it last year.
Well, because was that 2 years ago?
That
he
was
had
last year.
15 homers in a month.
But it was last year. He had the low batting average, and just in the playoff run, he brought it up and hit like 10 homers or something.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
No, he's incredible.
He's Josh Pearson.
Oh, speaking of, we have somebody in the chat. Josh Pearson. Ask Hayden about that knuckleball. So he's listening.
Josh was,
I love that.
buddy, it's the best pitch I've ever seen.
He's Tim Wakefield.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Was it Doug Mirabelli that caught him?
Huh?
Was it Doug Mirabelli that caught Wakefield?
Tim Wakefield? I don't know.
He already had. He brought him out of retirement. He's like, this is the only guy.
Someone called Josh Tim Wakefield, and he goes, "Who's that?"
Oh.
It's like, dude, you got to respect the craft.
Yeah.
Your forefathers.
Doug Minkiewicz was my manager in AAA. He was on that team.
Might have been him.
His stories are awesome. I told you the story when he was in college, right? Like, so back in the day, here in Florida State, back in the day, you didn't have team practices early on. You had a certain amount, whatever. You have it now, but you can still practice. Now, back then, they'd have player-run practices.
Oh, we still do. We still do.
Oh, y'all still do that?
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't do that, and so they had this practice, and
we know you didn't.
they had the ace on the mound. Minkiewicz was their best player. He's on deck. He's just has this stance like this, a big dip in his mouth. He has a wooden bat with a weight on it. I didn't tell you the story.
I feel like you have.
And so he's sitting there, and he's just warming up and getting loose. His metal bat's next to him. The pitcher strikes the guy out, and looks at Doug. He looks at Dougie and he's like, "Hey, I know you're not trying to come up here with that wood bat." So Doug spits at him, pops the weight off, goes up to the box with the wood bat. In the box, first stance, looking at the pitcher, guy throws 100 at his head. All right, so he dusts him off, whatever. Next at bat, guy comes 100. Doug hits a home run to right field. He takes his helmet off. He takes his batting gloves off, puts it on the front of the plate, and then just goes home.
Yeah, that's how you do
And
it.
he just leaves. That's how you do it.
That's
So
being
my
a
buddy
winner.
that I grew up in Lafayette, I played with him. I asked Dougie, who's my manager, I said, "Hey," I said, "Brooks Batto told me the story. Is it true?" I told it to him. He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." I was like,
Dude's a
"Even if
winner.
it's not true, to fucking say it's true, because that's how you do it."
You know it's gonna be really cool if Pearson comes back and doesn't go in the draft or something. Him and his brother playing together.
That is sick.
That's
His
awesome.
brother's pretty good, isn't he?
He's a good
Very
player.
good.
Very
What
good.
position does he play?
Unbelievable baseball family. Third base.
Outfield, third base, kind of
They could be in
utility.
the outfield together, actually.
Probably will.
Or he plays third base. It's pretty crazy.
He was around a good bit last year for the run.
Yeah, he's the man.
He's
Yeah.
a seasoned Omaha man.
You
now.
talking
Yeah.
about Garfield? Yeah.
That's another LSU guy.
Garfield.
Yeah,
That's
Garfield.
another Louisiana LSU guy. That's what you want. Shit, we could keep going, but we got sometimes the party's got to come to an end.
Start picking up the cups.
Yeah, but we got segments, so y'all can sit here and say we have two segments left. This whole show, honestly, because y'all are part of the show today, brought to you by our friends at Gordon Law Firm, injury law attorneys at law.
Shocker. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that number?
They have been obviously a great partner of ours. They've been great partners to Alex and Hayden and to a whole bunch of other athletes. We love what they do. We love being a part of the team. And if you have any needs that the Gordon Law Firm can help you with, you can call them at Lloyd.
888-8888.
That's it.
Or just
That
look
number.
at the old Rocco's board. You can get the number there.
Yeah, except minus the 1. Minus the 6.
Minus the 16,000, yeah.
Yeah.
When we get to 88.
But now we got the Seggies. Mistake of the day is brought to you by our friends at Doe's Place.
They have a fire chicken fried steak right now on their lunch menu. Just
Yeah,
added.
have you ever been to Doe's?
Doe's?
Doe's Place on Government?
DP Doe's or something?
No, just no. Like DOES.
DP Doe's.
Doe's. Listen to me.
Something way different.
Listen to me. Doe's.
On Twitter?
Doe's. The steaks at dinner, like steaks there are fire.
Yeah.
But the burger that you get, they only have it for lunch. The best burger in entire Baton Rouge.
Ooh,
It's
I
on
don't know.
Government.
There's some good burgers.
Best burger. This is so what they do. They trim their steaks, and they take the steak trimmings
Put it
and they
over.
turn it into a burger.
Sounds way too lean and mean for me. I
No,
like
it
that.
ain't
I like
lean
that
and
big.
mean, I promise.
No, double
That's
double
nasty.
for Big
Anyway,
Al.
Yeah,
Mistake of the day is brought to you by Doe's Place.
And this was yesterday, I believe, as it used to be a tale as old as time where you could run on the field, maybe, streak, get a little bit of action, get a little love from the camera, get tackled, and then you're on your merry way. What happened in the Reds game is the security is now beefing up their coverage of this guy. Yeets a backflip, gets away,
Insta tase.
Oh, he tased him.
Tases him on the
Locked him
field.
down.
Yeah, you're not
That's a
getting away
little
from
much.
that.
You're
You're
not
not-
getting in trouble for that, you think? He did it in front of all the people.
Nah,
Yeah.
you lock him up right there.
You
lot
got
of
it. That's your
wooden
job.
You missed your
That's your job.
opportunity, right? You almost
Great
jumped the
backflip.
flip. Yeah.
He spotted him on
He
the
kind
back.
of pushed him up.
He did.
That was a good move.
He did. You don't want to paralyze the guy. You know what I mean?
Now, what are
just
you
wanna
What are you
tase him.
thinking
Tase
when
him
you're
right in the
face
air.
down on that grass?
I mean, y'all are talking about juice and baseballs. This is what the people want to see.
This is what you need. A little halftime, whatever, in between
Yeah.
innings entertainment. This could be any
Let's-
game.
Yeah, let's stop with the little sack races on the side.
Yeah, no
Mr.
shit.
Freeze has played out.
Let's
Yeah.
tie it.
He
Let's
did
tie a
that
stake to somebody's hip and release a few pits behind him and see who catches them
Let's
first.
put somebody in pork chop panties and send him into Mike's cage.
Yeah.
Like, let's do something fun. Bring Mike back out to the baseball games like he used to be.
Yeah.
I'm
that'd be
adamant
actually
that I could
awesome.
go in Mike's cage and nothing would happen.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just a gentle giant.
Lloyd, I
Dude,
highly
I'm telling
doubt
you, I
that.
look at that man in
Sport.
the eyes and we lock
Yeah,
eyes.
Lloyd, have you ever turned your back to that cage? There's a reason it says don't turn your back. He'll try to attack you through the
Boy,
glass.
he would just have fun just mauling you.
Oh, I
just
would
kill
be
you
the
for
happiest man
sport.
alive. Just buy me a brick out there and just immortalize it. One kid that went into Mike's cage and never came back.
Coach Mike used to try to tag my uncle.
Yeah, you can't go anymore.
Well, yeah, my uncle was like,
The guy.
I don't know why, but one time, Mike, I'll show you the video after, but like, every time he shows up and Mike sees him, no matter how long it's been, he stalks him. And then once my uncle turns his back, Mike gets on the rock and he jumps from the rock to the window to try to get him.
Dude, hell yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
they-
I'm gonna show you the video. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think they made his uncle stop going because like,
He
we're
couldn't
actually
go.
concerned for Mike's safety.
They
'cause
stopped,
he
yeah.
won't stop doing it
Yeah.
to just
Wild.
to put a bow on mistake of the day.
Yep.
This guy obviously had to go. He gets arrested, goes to court this morning, in the same clothes, in the same jersey, and the judge goes, "Are you the kid that hit the backflip in the outfield?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Did you land it?" He goes, "I'm pretty sure." He goes, "Oh, these charges are dismissed."
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's one from a mistake of the day to a
Hey,
curtain call.
Curtain call.
No
Yes.
doubt.
The
So
rare
that's
twofer.
both in
The
one.
rare twofer.
There you go. Speaking of, curtain calls brought to you by our friends at Assured Partners. So I guess that would be your curtain
I
call
got
too?
two in there, and then obviously
Alright.
the boys coming in, saving the show. Appreciate it, fellas. And
Thank you,
Pearson's
fellas.
Knuckler. Love to see it next year.
Okay. My curtain call, and we didn't get to talk much about this. We'll have to talk about it maybe next week. Coach
Global
Maneri.
warming?
Nope,
Oh.
Coach Maneri. Came out, listen, you pay me $1.3 million, I'll come out of retirement. $1.3 million a year. I'll come out of retirement. Anytime you ask me to come out of retirement. Shout out to him. He gets to strap it on one more time, another shot at it. You know, I know a lot of people are saying certain things, but guys won. He does it in different ways. And, you know, hopefully he's brought some guys with him that I think is going to make that transition a little bit easier for him. So
I think y'all got to get Chinko back on the show just for a special segment
Oh,
for
little
Coach
Maneri.
Maneri.
No,
Yeah,
just have Achinko dress up in the South Carolina gear
Oh my god.
and let him do the episode
Dude,
as
his
Coach Maneri.
impersonations are the best.
Oh,
That
he's
was
the
my
best.
favorite show y'all have ever
was
done.
he wasn't there when y'all were there.
The year before.
He was there the year before.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a good story. He's one of the best I've ever met. Still
Yeah.
telling a story. He's
The
pretty
story about him, like, Coach Maneri, or he came out with the wrong bat. Coach told him
good.
to get a
sent
new
him-
bat.
And we had to walk to the old box.
Yes, yeah, that's a long walk.
He had to walk to the old box.
It's not short.
And then
Yeah,
goes and takes his clothes off. He was in the shower because they kicked him out of practice. and then he brings a manager, Mongo, who's now back.
Yeah.
Right?
That
Goes over there. Actually, it wasn't Mongo. It was the other one. Goes and gets him and says, Coach wants you back. Has to go put all the stuff back on with the new bat and the wrapper.
We understand that walk. That walk's brutal, man.
Nothing worse than the old uniform after a shower back on.
Yeah, it's tough.
I imagine it just wouldn't feel, aesthetically, it can't feel great.
No, doesn't feel great. That's all we got for you today. We appreciate you if you tuned in.
Oh,
Laura
great
Show.
interviews by you also on the
Thanks.
Pulmonary
Hey.
front.
Hey, I had to grind.
Consummate professional.
Came out well, didn't it?
Uh-huh.
I haven't been that locked in a long time.
Got bet.
Listen.
I was hanging on every word.
What
you enunciated well.
What a time to have that
Yeah.
news happen. We'll be back live. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you don't like watching us, but you like listening to us or anywhere you get your podcasts, we appreciate the support. We appreciate you tuning in to this earlier show. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Who wins the NBA Finals?
I don't watch it.
You don't watch NBA. You don't watch NBA.
Who wins the College World Series?
He wins the College World Series. Better question.
What are the brackets on each side?
That I do not know. I probably should know that.
Big team run with it.
Yeah.
Montgomery
Well, no.
getting hurt's big.
Big.
I'll honestly go. I'll go semis. It'll be between Tennessee, Florida State on the left side. They're on the same side.
I couldn't give you any.
I know for a fact they're on the same side.
My two.
It'll be Kentucky versus one of those two.
Oh, you think Kentucky's in the finals?
Yeah, versus
Okay.
one of those two.
I think
Alright.
Kentucky and Tennessee are on the same side too.
I thought they were
It
on opposite.
is
There we go.
in bracket 1, North Carolina versus Virginia, Tennessee versus Florida State. In bracket 2, Kentucky, NC State, Texas A&M, Florida.
I could see Kentucky and Tennessee then. I think that's two of the best
Okay.
teams in there. But also, I haven't
Anything
played
can
some.
happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen.
I'm
Trust.
interested to see how that brand of baseball plays in Omaha now that y'all mentioned the juice bats. Like it may be an equalizer as opposed to Kentucky, who put
The juice bats gets canceled out with shadows and glares out there.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I'm telling you, like put a blindfold on, it's the same.
That sucks.
it's
So
crazy.
get fixed. I hate shadows. Nothing
Kentucky had Oregon in an absolute pretzel. If you watched any of those baseball games, they scored the game winner on a guy from second.
Yeah,
Oh, I saw that.
Wild pitch.
Yeah.
Scrappy, dude.
But that's
Scrappy.
the pressure they put on you. That's what I'm interested
No
to
doubt.
see because it's working this year.
They remind me of how y'all probably, maybe y'all remember this. Remember in the middle of 2015, 14, 15, 16, when the Royals were really good?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what they remind me of. Like they're gonna
It's a good
do,
comp.
Yeah,
they're gonna
that's-
do literally. They're gonna play really good defense. They're gonna be scrappy as shit. They're gonna score from first on a single somehow.
They got
Like-
the #1 defense.
Yeah. So that's what they remind me of. But
Off
all right,
turf.
Huh?
Off turf.
Off
That-
turf.
that
That's
all
even
natural.
harder. That's it.
Like,
Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We appreciate y'all. Peace.